Assalamu alaikum. During the last election day in Finnish municipal election, we were me and some of my friends were um, observing the election results and votings, vote counts during the night as well. For as long as there are some candidates from our Bangladeshi communities as well. So during that observation, it was just suddenly hit my mind that how the votes are calculated and seats, how the seats are distributed to individual parties and their candidates. It was just hitting my mind, and the same time some calculation also made me wonder, like some candidates got quite good amount of votes, but and some of the candidates got little bit fewer than the others, but still the candidates with fewer votes, they got elected, but more the candidate with more votes, they didn't, they could not be able to elect it. So this thing actually hit my mind, that what is the reason behind it. Then I started googling, I started asking ChatGPT, our most smartest tool. So I had some ideas, and I actually found a method. Most of the European countries, including Finland, follows election or electoral method, which is called default method. So I'm actually going to start talking about voting, seat distribution, and also explaining those two main factors that actually inspired me to think about the electoral system. And also at the end, I also added how the mayor also elected after the election, and some other um, related topics as well. Then let's get started. Here we can see that it's about well, I made a presentation just for my understanding and just for discipline, so that I could present everything clearly, and to explain properly in a proper flow. So here we can see the topic about is understanding Finnish municipal elections or the electoral system. Here I'm just it just an introduction for the introduction of the discussion here. What are municipal election? We all know about that. Water, we all have quite good ideas that why these elections are held and why do we participate. I just here you just an infogram. It's about local elections held every 4 years in Finland. People vote for municipal council member, and council decides on municipal operations, mostly education and urban planning. For example, I have added the service, a list of services that actually councillors do or perform during their service time after the election when they get in the city council. Well, this is actually a list. There might be some of them are missing, uh, but I try to gather all of them. Like here I have added the infrastructure, environment, and economic planning of the city council. The list: service area, urban planning, transports and roads, housing, libraries and culture, sports and leisure, environmental services, water and energy, economy and employment, budget and tax rates, and also about education and social services, early childhood education, preschool education, basic education, what in Finland is called might be peruskoulu, and then special needs education, morning and after um, school activities, school transport, upper secondary Lokio, um, vocational education, adult education centers, social services, etc. These all are the services provided by the city council, city councils in Finland. Well, we were on the discussion on like who can vote on Finnish municipal elections actually. So voter type here: Finnish citizen, of course, over 18 years, so they can participate in the voting. They can participate in as a candidate, of course. EU citizens like Estonia, Germany, France, who living in Finland as a registered resident, and for non-EU citizen like Bangladesh, Iraq, USA. They must have lived continuously in Finland for at least 2 years before election day, before the election day. And there are some other conditions like must be officially registered in the Finnish population information system, and before the election of voting you will receive a voting card in a post or post letter. Mm. And then the last and most important, uh, you can vote only in your home municipality. Like if you're living in Helsinki, then you can vote only in Helsinki, or you can vote any candidate in Helsinki, not in Espoo, Vantaa, or any other municipalities. And then we came to the most important part, most challenging part. What is the actual motive of making this video? So that I have found that so many friends actually was struggling to understand this uh, D'Hondt method for seat distribution. So I also thought that, well, I also don't know how this method works. So I tried to find it out, and well, I think I figured it out pretty well. So let's start about the seed distribution method. Well, the key idea of the Hunt method is like for example, I just made an assumption. I just made an situation, just like an election environment, just like an election environment. So here's the situation that there is I thought that, well, there is total seats to fill 45 electoral seats, and there's three parties. I well I took three names on, like, three most popular and large Finnish political parties. So I just thought that, well, Kokoomus, this is one of the largest parties, and then SDP, one of the popular and largest as well, and Keskusta. And most importantly, I've seen that Keskusta is we in English it called um, mm, Central Party, and SDP is Social Democratic Party, and Kokoomus is called in English it says National Coalition Party, in short NCP. So they're the largest stakeholder of the election. So I thought that, well, I'm taking their names just for my election understanding. Okay, let's move. um, Here in this part, at each round, there is 45 seats, so there are 45 rounds of vote calculation, and there are, if I count them row and column, so there are three column for three parties and 45 rows for 45 seats. So the calculation actually doesn't depend on the candidates, how many candidates there every party has announced, but the main factors are seats versus the um, electoral votes. So the thing is that we assign seats one at a time across 45 rounds. That I said that there are 45 um, rows, rounds, we can say this 45 steps. See, as long as we have assumed 45 council seats in each round, we calculate a quotient for every party based on how many seats we have already on so far. Well, this is the most challenging words, I would say. It's really confusing, and, well, some of us might think that this is going overhead. Well, uh, fun is waiting ahead. Just wait for a while. Um, like everyone here, everyone starts with zero seats, of course. Is if there is no seats distributed or vote completely counted, then how a party could get any seats? So the votes should be counted, and those that Dehon method should be applied, and then we'll find that how many seats will be allocated for each party. So As long as we have not applied this method, so we don't know how many seats a party could get. So we start with 0 for every party here. So this is the actual formula, we could say. Each party's calculates each party's quotient is equal to total votes divided by um, uh, notice carefully every party's quotient. We will count every largest quotient for every step. Every calculation round of calculation, we will count. We will note the largest quotient. So this quotient actually determines that how many seats a party will get. So this party's quotient is equal to total votes divided by number of seats they have won so far. I mean, at the start there is no seat, so it will be 0. Nobody owned any seat. Plus 1. So is the actual formula. We just assume that this is the way of calculation, or this is the method of calculation. So as I said earlier, that the largest quotient will determine the amount of or every largest quotient in every step will determine a seat for a party, for a single party, not for every step. We will see that every party sorry, in every step one party will get one seat, and the steps will repeat it till 45 rounds. Okay, let's move on. Here in this part, I tried to figure out some examples over here. I just try to explain here the example. For example, all parties have 0 votes at the first round. So the quotient will be the equal to the total votes for the every party. So the highest vote equal to Kokomos, they get 1. They get first seat, and now Kokomos already has 1 seat. In the second round, we see Kokomos has already 1 seat over here. So the quotient calculation will change here. So the quotient will be is equal to 30,200 votes divided by that 1 seat Kokomos already achieved, plus 1 is equal to 15,100. So they got well, they don't receive the Kokomos didn't receive any seats in the second round of the calculation. So as we didn't calculate it SDP yet, so SDP has achieved 0 seat sticker. So for the quotient for the SDP, we go for 25,500 votes divided by 0 plus 1, because we didn't calculate it SDP yet. So SDP has 25,500 vote, that is the total for SDP. So SDP has 1 seat now. So in this round, Keskusta got 0 seat, Kokomos got 0 seat, but SDP got one seat. In this round, SDP has the most or maximum votes compared to Kokomos and Keskusta in this round. So the highest is equal to SDP in the second round. So SDP has one seat now. In round 3, we will again calculate Kokomos for one seat, as we found that Kokomos has one seat already. So still Kokomos has 15,100 votes, and then SDP has one seat as well. So 25,000 divided by 2 is 12,750 votes, and Keskusta didn't achieve yet any votes. So still Keskusta has 0 seats. So the calculation will come 19,900 divided by 1 equal to 19,900 votes. So this is the actual total vote of Keskusta. So Keskusta remains highest in the round 3. So Keskusta achieved the third seat. So Keskusta now has one seat, and so on until 45 seats are distributed. So we will see more broader picture in the next discussion. Let's see. It was really tough to add all the 45 rounds here, but I just brought 10 rounds here to give the whole picture, and the rest of the things are the same. So for the round 1, we have seen in the earlier discussion that Kokomos has 30,200 votes divided by 1, so Kokomos has 1 vote. And in the round 1, sorry, let's check again. In the round 1, Kokomos has more votes compared to SDP and Keskusta, so Kokomos wins in the first round, and Kokomos got 1 seat. In the second round, as long as Kokomos has 1 seat, so here 1 seat will be added with the Formula 1. I mean, Formula 1 means the 1 is in the formula. So Kokomos, the votes of Kokomos in the second round becomes 15,100. But SDP didn't receive any seats yet, and Keskusta also didn't receive. So in this round, the lowest vote is Kokomos in the second round, and we find the highest vote is for SDP. So in the second round, SDP wins, so SDP got 1 seat. In the third round, here Kokomos has 1 seat, so it will go same as the earlier. And now in this part, you see SDP got also same as Kokomos, 1 seat too. Here 1 seat will be added, so their current votes are 12,750 votes. But as long as Keskusta didn't receive any vote yet, they is still same as earlier fractions. So their total votes are still same as before, 19,900. So in this round, in the third round, Keskusta wins. So Keskusta got 1 seat. In this round, you see in the fourth round, everybody own 1 seat at least. And here we see everybody's total vote is counted by 2. I'm sorry, divided by 2. So here Kokomos has more votes compared to SDP and Keskusta. So in fourth round, Kokomos wins. In the fifth round, you see Kokomos has already 2 seats and plus 1. So here 3. So 30,200 divided by 3, it comes 10,067 votes. Here SDP has only 1 seat, Kokomos has only 1 seat. So SDP will be SDP's leftover votes are still be divided by 2, and I'm sorry, SDP's total vote will be divided by 2, and there is still votes 12,750, and Keskusta has the same as 9,950. So in the fifth round, SDP wins. SDP has more votes compared to Kokomos and Keskusta. So the rounds will move on accordingly. So for the for first 10 rounds, we have found, we see according to our calculation that Kokomos got 4 seats, SDP 3 seats, Keskusta 3 seats. Like here we can also check Kokomos 1. Kokomos has the largest quotient. Here SDP. Okay, let's see how many votes here Kokomos achieved. How many seats? Kokomos second, Kokomos third time, Kokomos fourth time. So in this 10 rounds, Kokomos is the winner. Kokomos received 4 seats, and SDP here in the second round we see SDP has the largest quotient, 25,500 votes. So SDP here also, SDP has the largest quotient here in the fifth round, so 12,750, and in the eighth round, same, SDP has the largest quotient, 8,500 votes. So SDP wins 3 seats. Same goes to Keskusta as well. This is the actual method of D'Hondt method, which is followed by so many European electoral system. Okay, let's get to another problem during the election day. This problem also hit my mind that, well, some of the candidates received more vote than other candidates, but still they are not elected, but fewer votes compared to the candidate with the fewer vote candidate, he got elected. So I was trying to figure out that why it's happening, why they're getting elected but not the more vote candidate. So we figured out that votes are counted for each party, not just for individuals. I mean, for example, if there are 10 candidates from a political party, so 10 candidates will receive votes from their voters, and party will get all the votes. So all the votes will be accumulated in the party's account. So the thing is that all votes goes and gives to the candidates from the same party and pooled together. The party's total vote count determines how many seats it will get. Yeah, of course, we have seen in the earlier discussion that the total vote actually determines how many seats a party could get. And seats go to the highest ranked candidates within that party. For example, SDP got 10,000 votes. It has maybe 12 candidates, but they received 7 seats. So those 7 seats will be distributed to the first more candidate, more votes, the candidate with the more votes, I'm sorry, the candidate with the more votes. For example, the first candidate could be which has maybe 1000, somebody could have 900, somebody could have 800, somebody could have 700, and so on. Once the party gets say 5 seats, those seats go to the topmost voted candidates within that party. That I actually tried to explain. A lower vote candidate in a strong party can be elected. Yeah, that's our point. If someone gets only 300 votes, but their party gets enough seats, they might still get in. Meanwhile, someone who gets 600 votes might not get elected if their party didn't win any seats, or fewer than needed to reach them on the list. For example, here, well, as long as we have discussed and figure out the D'Hondt method, so now we can figure out that, well, then of course, if a party doesn't have enough votes or any seat, then of course, even there are candidates with more votes than the other party candidates, they still not be elected. Like here, you see candidate A, X party, received only 300 votes, but the party's total is 10,000 and party own 4 seats. So this candidate A elected, but the candidate B, party Y, received double than the candidate A, double votes, but the party's total is only 1500. So party didn't get any seat. So the candidate with the more votes, candidate B with the more votes, double than the candidate A, is still not elected. So the key point is a candidate needs both personal support and own party support to do well overall. Okay, then next line come to the deputy councillors. What is this? Well, after assigning all 45 council, why 45 council seats? We discussed about 45 rounds, 45 seats in the D'Hondt method discussion. So here, that's why I just wrote 45 council seats. The next candidates in the same party list, in descending order of individual votes, become deputy councillor. For example, if a party wins 10 seats, the top 10 vote getters from that list become councillors, and the 11th, 12th, 13th, so on, highest vote getters from that list become deputies in order. And the duties, they replace actual councillors temporarily when someone is sick, on leave, resigned, unavailable, and they get to attend council meetings, vote, and act just like a regular councillor when filling in. Well then, if my candidate is not elected, is my vote wasted? Well, no. Your vote still strengthens the party, makes deputy councillor, helps the party win seats, even if your candidate isn't elected. Well, then there are some other questions could arrive. I just try to figure them out as well. So as long as we are discussing about the elections and policies, methods, and electoral systems, well, let's go on. Well, can parties form coalitions after the election? Well, in Finnish municipal council, yes, it happens. It is quite common in Finland or Finnish municipal election councils. Parties can form coalitions after the elections. Two or more parties can join forces to form a majority, even if they came second or third. The coalition can then control the council and select the mayor. So we get the idea how the mayor is elected. For example, if a party, there is three parties, party A, party B, party C, and party A got first place with 30 seats, party B in the second place with 25 seats, and party C in the third place with 20 seats. So if B and C think that, well, let's make an coalition and make an agreement, so they will become the majority with 45 seats, so they will topple the winner party A over the with the 30 seats. So the result comes, party A wins the most, but B and C form a majority and can choose them now. So as long as they are the majority with 45 seats. So it's all about who can gather more seats, not just votes. Well, let's have a summary now. Vote power for both candidate and party. Seat allocations fair but bit complex. And the elected council member together elect the mayor, not the voters directly. Yes, voters elect the party actually. If I would say, yes, voters gives vote to the candidate directly though, but the votes actually goes to the account of the party, and then when party gets enough seat or majority, they become the leading party, and they form the council, and then maybe with coalition or maybe without coalition, they could get the majority and they form council and they elect mayor. So your vote always counts and your votes matter. And yes, finally, thank you for watching. And did you get fun to know about that two fact, that the Hunt method, and why a candidate with more votes is still not be elected? What is the reason behind it? So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And well, finally, I had to read some web articles, some papers related to the electoral system, Finnish electoral system websites, some journals, and about the paper, the paper about the own method, and of course some tutorials as well. Thank you.